Hey guys, been a while since I posted the last video. And quite frankly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I thought that I was done with YouTube because all of my content, and I think I kind of screwed myself over because unfortunately, this is a gym channel. This is a health and fitness channel. I wish that I made it just like a variety channel. But unfortunately, when I made the channel, I was so addicted to going to the gym. I enjoyed watching gym content. So now I'm stuck in this position. Now I got to try to somehow motivate you guys to go to the gym. I do think I'm going to try to change it to like a lifestyle channel. Maybe not necessarily the gym, but I can wrap it all up into the gym. I don't freaking know. Unfortunately, guys, this is the course I've decided to take my channel in. This is the direction I've chosen, unfortunately. Now, with all that being said, I freaking hate the gym. The gym sucks. If you freaking say you like the gym, you're a liar, or you're in the beginning stages of the gym. The gym is not fun. And if if you think it's fun, like I said, you are a liar. You're lying through your teeth. There's always people out there kind of critiquing my lifestyle. I've kind of alluded to this a million times in the past, but there are a bunch of people who are constantly critiquing the way that I live. They'll say, you used to be in good shape, you used to be smarter, you used to, have stuff going for you. To those people who are telling me that, here's a little challenge for you. Get a freaking life. Try that one out. Because I bet if I had the same mentality as you and I sat and I watched you for 24 hours, I'd probably find some stuff wrong with you too. But because I decide to put the stuff that I think online, you're at a greater advantage because you can say, well, why would he say that? Why would he gamble himself into debt? Why would he purposely put himself at rock bottom? I bet there's some stuff that you're doing that probably isn't good. But if you told me those things, I would probably not care because I have my own life. You have your own life. How about we just leave each other alone? But back to what I was saying. A couple things that I've learned in my time away from YouTube is, and honestly, I haven't been off YouTube for that long. It's been a couple weeks. So this is actually pretty sad to say. So the first thing that I've learned is that I think the only reason I locked in was because of the Locked In series. So I have to start taking accountability for my own actions because whenever I'm in a position where maybe the camera's not rolling and I have to make the right decision, the question is, will I be able to do that? And to be honest with you, I don't know if I can answer that question. So I don't think it was me as a person who was rising to the top. I think it was the fact that I had to come to you guys humbly and full of humility and admit, bad news, guys, I just ate 7 ice cream sandwiches in 30 minutes. Or a recent thing that I've done is I ate 2 foot-long Subway sandwiches in probably 30 minutes. Ever since the Locked In series ended, I haven't been to the gym. And I think that even in the Locked In series, that last clip that I did, I think it had been like a couple days since I'd gone to the gym. And I don't think I've lied. I just think that it was revealed that maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't know what I was talking about. For the first time in my life, I was wrong. And I will come to you humbly and full of humility and tell you guys I was wrong. So the second thing that I've learned is you're going to want to open up your dictionaries for this one. Look up the definition of loser. Unfortunately, I am the definition of, the epitome of, and the poster child of being a freaking loser. I think, in my opinion, there's not much that I do. Even the stuff, you guys would probably come to the same conclusion. But, if for some reason I dropped off the face of the earth, I don't think much would change. And this isn't like in a depressing way. I'm saying like in a pure logical way. I work, but really, would anything change besides people being sad? Probably not. And I think my goal by the end of this series is to actually have some value in the world, because right now, not in a good position. If you kind of look at me as like on paper in black and white, I'm not in the best shape anymore. First of all, my car smells like something's rotting and I don't know what it is. So that's not good. So yeah, I have to become a jack of all trades in order to not be a loser. So I think there's different categories that I have to do in order to not become a loser and start becoming a man of value, a jack of all trades, and somebody that actually brings something to the table. So the first thing, obviously, is physical health. Now, I'm not saying that if you're freaking ugly, you know, you're a loser. But, I mean, I think that somebody's physical appearance is a direct correlation to how much they care about themselves, for the most part. Number 2 is intelligence. I don't know if this comes across on videos, because I think see, even right there. I don't know if this comes across in videos, but because I think I stutter, or holy frick. I don't know if this comes across in videos, because for the most part, I cut out my uhs and my stutters, and you know is a filler word for me. Watch any video and watch how many times I say you know. I probably have done it in this video a million times. I'm trying to get better at it. But I think that my intelligence has gone down. I think I've gotten dumber, unfortunately. So I've got to work on that. And number 3, I literally have to become a jack of all trades. So if I got really good at all these things and I took one of these things away, at least I'd have value. Like, let's say I had value in 10 areas. You take away one area, and I still have value to 9 other areas. That is the goal. That is the whole purpose of this series, is to lock in more than one area. So I think we're going to start out, unfortunately, we're going to start out by going to the gym. And I haven't said that in a while. I think it's chest and arm day. I think this series is going to kind of be like a variety series. You guys are going to see a whole bunch of different aspects that I'm working on. You guys are going to see the chaos, the craziness, the rambunctiousness of me as a person. You're going to see the story unfold of me rise to the top, and not just the gym, in every area. And I think that the original purpose of the lock-in series was to do this, but it kind of turned into the gym. I think I just never got over that. I think the issue was I never locked in. So in order to combat that, to where I'm more accountable for my actions, for the first couple weeks or month maybe, I'll post every single day. And if I don't post, it'll be another video for something else, I guess another smaller video. And then I'll do like once a week, and then once a month, and then I'll check in every once in a while. Once I have other stuff going on. I think in the Locked In series, in the solitary confinement documentary, in every single series where I'm starting out at a low point, I never actually understood the privilege of the position that I was in. But now that I freaking did it, I got to the top, I'm back at the bottom again. Now I know that I like the ride up from the bottom. I like the chaos, the craziness, every single thing. I like the stories. That's the difference between you and I. If I were homeless on the side of the road, you know, I wouldn't like it, but I would understand that the story's going to be cool. And I would understand how to sit and deal with the situation and eventually ride back up to the top. With you guys, you know, I don't want to speak for all of you, but I know a lot of people out there would say, I need to get my finances fixed. I need to get a coat for the winter. I ain't doing all that. I ain't getting a coat for the winter. If I'm supposed to die of hypothermia and that's in my fate, who am I? You know, that's kind of egotistical of you to think that you are in charge of your own fate. If you're supposed to die of hypothermia, why would you do everything in your power to not die of hypothermia? If it's in my fate, if it's in my story, who am I to fiddle around with fate? That is not my job. So instead, I will understand the position I'm in, and then I will try to make the best of it. But if it's in my story to be homeless on the side of the road and die of hypothermia at the end of my life, then that's just how it is. Sorry, guys. Someone is walking. Someone is right beside me, and I don't want them to judge me. You know, I'm going to act like a normal guy, so I guess I can talk quietly. So the purpose of this series is, unfortunately, as sad as it sounds, I'm back at ground zero. All the work that I did in the Locked In series, I wouldn't say all the work, but the majority of the work that I did for the Locked In series was for nothing. So we're starting new, and it's not just going to be the gym. It's going to be in more than one area. I'm thinking about making punishments for it. So one thing on the table is I might legally change my last name to Spank. That's my online persona name, but I might legally change it to Spank. But yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of different stuff. We're going to try to become a jack of all trades. So with that being said, keep an eye out for a new series on YouTube. And thank you guys for watching. I feel like there was more to say, but the person who just walked beside me kind of threw me off.